Did you know that when Jesus died, something happened inside the temple that completely changed how people could approach God? Welcome to Church in 3, where we equip everyday people with biblical truth to live out their faith every day. So in the temple in Jerusalem, there was a massive curtain called the veil. This wasn't just decoration. It was thick, heavy, and impossible to pass through. What it did was it separated the Holy of Holies from the rest of the temple. So the Holy of Holies was a place where the presence of God symbolically dwelled. And because God is perfectly holy and humans are sinful, no one could just walk into that place. Doing so would mean death. Only the high priest could go behind the veil, and even then it was only once a year on the Day of Atonement, after offering sacrifices for sin. So that veil was more than fabric. It was a constant reminder that sin separates us from God. It showed that access to God was limited, restricted, and costly. But when Jesus died on the cross, something incredible happened. Matthew chapter 27 verses 50 and 51 says, "Then Jesus shouted out again, and he released his spirit. At that moment, the curtain in the sanctuary of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom." Now, I want you to catch this right here. The curtain was torn from top to bottom. That means that it wasn't torn by human hands. God himself tore it. At that exact moment when Jesus gave his life, the barrier between God and humanity was removed. What used to separate us was now opened. What used to be restricted was now available. So through the sacrifice of Jesus, access to God was no longer earned, it was given. Hebrews chapter 10 verses 19 and 20 says, "And so, dear brothers and sisters, we can boldly enter heaven's most holy place because of the blood of Jesus." So by his death, Jesus opened a new life-giving way through the curtain in the most holy place. That means you don't have to wait for a priest. You don't need a special day. You don't need a system of sacrifices. Because of Jesus, you can come directly to God, anytime, anywhere, and with confidence. And here's the powerful part. The veil wasn't just torn in the temple. Jesus' body was torn so that your access could be restored. The curtain was a symbol. Jesus was the fulfillment. The curtain was torn. That means that access was open, and the resurrection proved that the way to God is not temporary. It is fully finished. So I want to leave you with this. Don't live like the veil is still there. Walk in the access that Jesus paid for. Come to God boldly. Live like you're truly forgiven and step into the relationship that was once impossible, but is now fully open through Christ. Remember, faith isn't just something we believe. It's something we live. Be equipped, walk it out, and we'll see you next time.